Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mobile App Academy. This is our live building series where we show you how to build and configure ServiceNow mobile apps on the Now platform. My name is David Ha, and I'm an outbound product manager here at ServiceNow, and I'll be your host for today's session. We do also have Caitlin as well as Charity, who also represent our mobile team, Charity on the Now Learning team, and Caitlin from Mobile Research. If you do happen to be joining us for the first time, welcome to the session. We have product experts here to provide guidance, best practices, and answer any questions that come up along the way. And I do want to call out that this will be our last academy for the year due to the holidays. Our regular scheduling will end up landing on Thanksgiving break as well as the Christmas holidays. So we will be kicking off the next academy session in January. You can continue following our community to get the latest updates on the next session and topic. But before we get started, I want to pass this over to our mobile research team to help enlist customers and partners who want to share feedback with us so that we can learn more about your experiences using Mobile App Builder. So, Caitlin, I'm going to pass it over to you to share your screen.
Sounds perfect. All right, so as David said, I am Caitlin Kenny, and I am our staff researcher going over mobile platform topics. And basically what that means is I'll be working with customers like you to learn and better understand our mobile experience and to identify areas where we can improve it, as well as to use your feedback to work with the product team and help inform the direction of our products moving forward. So I want to share right now an opportunity to help inform Mobile App Builder. We are currently running testing sessions, 90 minutes long, as one-on-one throughout November. Basically, we're looking for customers who have experience using ServiceNow to build mobile apps. And what I'll have you do is go through and complete a series of tasks in Mobile App Builder, and then ask a couple of questions about your experience. It is really important to note that we're not testing you, we're testing out our tools. You're the experts, right? Like, this is your job, you build mobile apps. So there really is no right or wrong questions while we're doing this study. We just want to help identify ways to improve our experience. If you're interested in participating in research, but maybe this opportunity is not the right one for you, we do have a mobile research panel sign up. And this basically lets us know that you're interested in participating in studies moving forward. And this will help to basically improve overall, again, that product strategy for mobile. We'll be able to send you invitations to participate in different studies. You'll be able to look at new designs and early concepts that aren't yet aren't live. You'll be able to share thoughts, opinions, and insights, as well as potentially talk directly with the product team. And then, if it is permissible by your organization's policies, you may also be eligible for an incentive. If you have any questions, do feel free to contact me, and I'll go ahead and pop all this information into chat right now.
Awesome. And then we can also wrap up with showing the QR codes again at the end. So I'll pass it back to Caitlin towards the end of this. So going back to the presentation, just want to call out in case you are new to mobile, recommend that you check out some of our self-enablement resources that you can find on our community site, such as our Essentials Training blog and mobile FAQs. Do want to note now that we're entering Xanadu, we will have a Xanadu webinar as well as a blog coming out soon. So look forward to those. And for more hands-on training, we do have labs and Now Learning courses available. And of course, we have the playlist to all of our previous app academies. I saw a comment that, when people are looking forward to getting the latest academies, we'll currently working on those. We'll work on getting those up in the next couple of weeks. But there you can find sessions like getting started using mobile app builder, how to build custom apps, and so much more. But with that being said, let's get started with today's topic. Activating and enabling Sidebar for mobile. And just as a bonus, because the configurations are pretty light one today, I'll also take us through user criteria permissioning. As we're coming up with new features, these configurations are getting easier and easier. And so I feel like with these latest academies and Xanadu, it's more about me promoting these features that they're important rather than like actually showing you the step-by-step configurations. A lot of these are activating automatically as soon as you install the plugin. Um, just to quickly review today's schedule, we'll start with a quick overview and then jump into the exercise and finish off with some Q&A. Okay. So in case you aren't aware, and we do have this covered for mobile highlights on the mobile docs. You can see all the features that came into Xanadu, but one of them being is Sidebar. Sidebar for mobile is what enables agents to collaborate with others when you're working on a record, typically on workspace, but now we're also supporting this on mobile as well. It allows for agent to agent conversations. Um, so I know that there maybe have customers who have used Connect in the past on Mobile Classic, and the answer, or a lot of questions that we get asked is like, is this a replacement for Connect? Not quite. Connect allowed you to have a conversation with anyone. And so you would basically have almost like a Teams or a Microsoft or a Slack kind of chat. That is not what we're trying to build, but rather this is for agents to have conversations with other agents, especially within a task. And so with mobile, agents will be able to initiate record-based conversations with any other agent within your company, or they're also able to launch their global sidebar summary panel, which will allow you to review all your discussions and be able to jump into any conversation from there. So pretty straightforward. Um, Although we aren't supporting every type of conversation, we are at least eliminating the gap of having agent to agent conversations. And Sidebar will also support notifications as well as any chats that are posted to ActivityTrain. I also,
Something
oh, I left the audio there. Funny. I also want to highlight user segmentation. This is a new feature that allows you to limit access to specific parts of your apps beyond just role permissioning. This has also been a long overdue ask for many of our customers, because it helps you with dynamically controlling access on user conditions such as like location or department. It just gives you another level of control on your apps on who you want to permission specific screens, or even tabs to. And then user segmentation will be supported at the application level, the launcher screen level, and then I'll actually pull up a doc so you can find exactly where the roles are supported, where user segmentation is supported, and where both are supported. Um, okay, so to get started, I'm gonna first take us through Sidebar, and then I'll show a quick config for user segmentation. Okay, so let me share my instance and get out of here. Oops. Oh, this is sharing desktop. Okay, that's fine. Um, let's see. Let me do a new share. Okay. I think I shared the wrong screen. One sec. Share desktop. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you should be able to see my mobile screen as well as my instance here. Let's close out a couple of these tabs. Okay, so I went through this exercise myself and I want to point out a couple things in case you get lost in activating this. To use Sidebar, you do have to activate the field service mobile plugin. So that's the first one. And apparently, if you're a new customer and you install the FSM for the first time for whatever reason, you shouldn't have to touch anything else. It should automatically pull into your out of the box FSM app. However, if you're already using FSM and you update the plugin, I don't think it quite pulls in all the dependent plugins needed, and so you're gonna have to install one more on top of that. So let's do them one by one. So field service mobile. I already have these installed, so I'll just show you that these exist and where you can find them. I already have it installed, so it's field service mobile. Okay. So once I have this up to date, you're also gonna have to install the field service mobile sidebar one. And you can find that in our product docs. If you look up sidebar for mobile, this page will show up. And this will just remind you this is the specific plugin you'll need. Okay. And then once you have the field service mobile sidebar installed, how you'll know that this is working is if you go into mobile app builder. And then if you look up field service, you're not going to see one scope, but two. Field service mobile. You should see this new sidebar one, and that's when you'll know you have the right tables in. Okay. Um, at this point, it should start working. Right now, if I refresh my mobile app, uh, it shows that it does not. And so if you were to troubleshoot for whatever reason, if this is inactive or whatever, what I would do is I would go here and check conversational interfaces. Conversational interfaces, and underneath this, open up home. And on this, there's actually a tab for settings. So settings up here, settings specifically for sidebar. I'm not going to show you how to, configure a sidebar. I'll just show you how to enable it from the mobile perspective. This is typically for customers who already have sidebar, so we won't be going into that. But you can see here that it's currently inactive. So I just have to jump into the correct scope. Omni experience, standard feature sets. It's a funny name that they gave it for sidebar. And then we'll just activate this and save. Okay. And so at this point, what you should see new on mobile is um is it here? Um what I should see is a new tab, and I know why. I think I accidentally also disabled a tab. So let me show you this in case you ever run into this situation. Go into App Builder, open up the scope, open up your navigation tabs. So navigation tabs. Oh, so it doesn't live under field service mobile. It's actually field service sidebar. And then we go tabs. There we go. Here's the tab for sidebar. I'm assuming this is inactive for whatever reason. We'll turn this active, and now I should be able to see it. And there it is. So two ways to access sidebar, right? So there's the global way. If I were to tap in this tab, I can access all my conversations. And this is built on a web screen. So, it may take a couple seconds to load. But, I currently have one open discussion. I can see all my unreads, which I don't have any here. And if I'm mentioned, I'll also see it here, mentioned within the activity stream. And then you can also favorite. Okay. And then, of course, you can jump into the conversation and add any comments. I can say currently working on it. Done in post. I'm aware that they've built a summarization Gen AI feature for summarizing your chat conversations. We don't currently support that for mobile yet, but um it is something we'll probably look into the future of supporting in the future. Right now, summarization for field service only includes closure notes, but I'm sure field service will extend this use case into other parts like sidebar as well. Okay, so this is the first way to access your sidebar. Another way is if you open up any specific task, you'll see that there's a new button location specifically just for your sidebar. So if I were to tap on this, it'll jump into the specific record to have a discussion within. So this is opening up a discussion with Alex Ray specifically to talk about this incident 1005. Okay. And I'm hearing that you can actually build this for any workflow. So I know this is available out of the box for field service. Once you install the app and get the plugin, you should be able to build this within any other workflow. So if you wanted it for instance or any other table, this is possible. And what I would recommend is just look into this function right here. I can probably show you on docs real quick. 1 second. If we go to our docs, it's going to tell you that there's been a new button that was introduced. 2 new button instances. If I click on that, how they inserted this button in this specific location was we introduced a new location called top icon functions. Okay, so instead of putting it in your top menu or your footer, to get this to work specifically, you have to put it in your top icon. Okay, and then if we look at the actual function itself, you can probably just reverse engineer that and plug it anywhere else. Okay, so this is how you get sidebar to activate and get it to work out of the box for field service. Any questions so far? Let's check Q&A.
There
Is field
are a
service
couple.
uh is field service part of ITSM? I actually don't know. I think they're different.
Yeah,
Uh
they are separate. They're separate plugins. Whether or not there is a subscription fee for field service, like field service management, I don't think David nor I know. We don't really deal with the subscription fees, but you do need to have field service management in order for field service mobile to work. ITSM has their own mobile app, and and the field service mobile app will not work without field service management
yeah,
as
I will
the
follow up with your account team
module.
for any questions around subscriptions, if it's included in your package or not. And then the other question was, is it only field service or is it also for HRSD? Um, so technically, you could build this from scratch without using field service at all, but there's no documentation on how you can do that. The nice thing about having FSM is all the scripts have already been written out, and so you can kind of just look at it and then plug it into your own app. And so on a platform level, technically this is available for everyone, but if you really want to use it, it's best to install field service, use the out of the box, look at how it's built, and then apply it to your own use case. Okay. Um, okay, next, user permissioning. This is a huge one that a lot of customers have been asking for. Um, real quick, we have a question from Eric. Eric, I'm going to allow you to talk, so feel free to ask. By the way, go ahead and unmute yourself. Maybe the hand was raised on accident. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. Sharing screen again. Going back to my instance. User permissioning. So there is a new doc here that will tell you exactly where you can apply both user roles and user criteria. You can apply it to your launcher screen, record section, so forth. But there's also places where only user's role is supported, as well as only user criteria is supported. Okay. So specifically for user criteria, we can apply this to specific tabs, specific screen tabs and launcher tabs. And so let me show you a quick example of, if I wanted to say, let's say that sidebar tab, for whatever reason, I only want to give users who are located in, I don't know, San Francisco, to have access to this. If they don't have the San Francisco location, then they won't be able to see it. Okay. So right now, I am able to see this. Well, let me first show you where you can find user criteria. So let's open mobile app builder. And then we'll jump into field service scope, because this is where all of my configurations live for this app. And then I said I wanted to apply it to my work. So I can either go at the very top for app configs and go, from the client down, or I can jump into all mobile records and filter that way. I'll just go from the top so I can show you all the different places you can apply this. So starting from the agent clients, I can then go from my hierarchy tree down to navigation bar. Here's all the tabs that are associated. If I do a control find, I can find sidebar here somewhere, which is right here. And then I just have to jump into the correct scope, clicking on this blue button. And if I scroll down, you can see that there's this new table called user criteria access. Notice that you can only choose user criteria. So right here is where I can access all my pre-existing criterias that are available on my instance. But if I wanted to create my own, I do have to do this outside of App Builder. Real easy and simple. You just look up user criteria. It lives under change administration user criteria. Although I'm curious about all these other ones. Do they point to the same table? Oh yeah, they just all point to the same table. And then I can create a new criteria here. And let's say that, access sidebar from SF. Don't need a short description, but I'll just paste it. I mean, here, this is everything that we can control now beyond roles. So you can pick specific users, specific groups, also apply role on top of this. Advanced, you can also script whatever you need. Companies, location, department. So, if your users changing different departments, super easy to control their access. We'll just hard code San Francisco into this one. And then we'll click submit. And then I just have to go back into App Builder and then go and pick this criteria that I just made. I call that access sidebar from SF. And then we'll click save. Now, if I refresh my app, I should still be able to see it. Yep. So the reason for that is because on my user itself, I believe it's currently user organization. I believe the user's location is currently set to San Francisco. So if I were to delete this and give it any other location like Los Angeles or whatever else, let's pick Seattle. This should now reject my access. So if I refresh, it should disappear. And there it is. Okay, so super simple, easy config, and super dynamic as well on how you can control it. Any questions? That's pretty much all I wanted to show for today. Basically just promoting these features. They are common things that I hear on community and from customers themselves. So just wanted to promote it. Is user segmentation only for field service? No, so this is a platform-wide feature. This is for any level of access, even if you don't have any subscriptions. Good thing to call that out. Any other questions? Q&A. Oh, another one coming in. Everything in mobile can use the server user segmentation. No, so there's this documentation that I just pulled up. If you look up user criteria mobile, you'll get this page, which will tell you exactly where you can apply user criteria. So right now, it's navigation tab, screen, and launcher. I can show you a couple more tables. So since we have time, let's look at App Builder. So if I were to jump into this navigation tab, let's actually open up another tab that has more content in it. Let's look at my work and then jump into the scope. Okay, so here I can apply user criteria on the launcher level. Let's go down one level deeper into my specific launcher screen. And here you can see that I also still have access to user criteria. This launcher screen, oh, there it is. If you change access control type from user roles to user criteria, I can also apply it at the launcher screen level. If I go down another level deeper to launcher sections, I think I have control on that too. So let's say that I wanted to control wait, this is incident. This is ITSM. This is the wrong screen. My bad. Let's go back to field service. Oh, there's two my works. So there's one for ITSM, one for FSM. Let's make sure this is the right one. This is one's ITSM, this one's FSM. So that can be confusing. So make sure you're in the correct scope and accessing the right tabs. So let's go down a level deeper to launcher, down to launcher section. Here we go. So I have two sections here. My task and then my work. So if I open up my work, it still allows me to apply user criteria here. So it would either hide this entire section or make it visible. And then if I go one more deeper to icon section destination, let's say that my group task, it still allows me to apply user criteria access here. So let's say I apply it here. We give it access side bar from SF. If we click save, my group task should disappear. And there it is. Okay. And I think this is the farthest that we can apply user criteria. I think if you click into specific screens, you're not, like expand this advanced settings, you won't be able to see it. You only see role access. So generally you can only apply it to these higher levels. I don't think you can apply it to specific record screens either. Maybe you can. I haven't double checked. But just something to play with. Just go through all your screens and see if you can apply it. Or just reference the docs. Any other questions? Okay. Caitlin, I'm gonna pass it over to you real quick to show the QR code again before we wrap up.
Fantastic. So I'm going to pop the links into chat again. And just as a reminder for what we were talking about at the beginning of the session, we do have some research opportunities around our mobile products. Right now, I'm currently recruiting for one around mobile app builder. And the goal of this is really just to better understand the experience that you have using it, identify opportunities for improvements, as well as to inform the product direction of mobile app builder. So these sessions are going to be 90 minutes, one-on-one, and we're running them through November. So what I'll have you do is complete a series of tasks in Mobile App Builder and then ask a few questions about how that experience was. And just a big note, there's no right or wrong answers if you participate. We're not testing you, we're testing out our tools. So the only way that we'll be able to identify those areas for opportunities and improvements are basically if you give us that feedback and show us how we can improve it. If this opportunity doesn't seem right for you, but you're still interested in doing research, we do have a mobile research panel, and this will basically let us know that you're interested in participating in studies. So you'll be receiving invitations to participate. You'll be able to see some new designs, early concepts, be able to share your thoughts, opinions, and insights. And these could be through things like surveys, interviews, potentially even talking with the product team directly. And then if you participate and it's permissible by your organization, you may also be eligible for an incentive. So definitely please sign up to participate. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Again, I've got those links dropped into chat, but you're also welcome to use your camera and go to the QR code.
Awesome. Thank you all for joining us today. And again, we'll reboot this academy again January, first thing in the year. If you found these academies helpful, please let us know in our post-session surveys. And let us know in the community what topics you're struggling with. If there's any specific configurations you'd love to learn more about, let us know. We do look through them to get like trends and ideas on topics. But with that being said, we hope to see you again at our next academy next year. Thanks, everyone.